All right, so I don't know how I feel about Johnny Cage getting a nerf. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to nerf him. However, there are some questionable things when it comes to that because I was getting very curious, and I was always curious as to how like a Lee May player was able to press a button before I was, because I'm like, there's no way you're like safe off of that, right? But then I got curious, and something just told me to go into the lab and like actually look at her frame data. And it turns to find out that Johnny is not the only character in the game that has a shit ton of plus frames. Lee May is another character that has a shit ton of plus frames, right? So let's take a look at that, right? Let's take a look at that. Because apparently Johnny is the only one that's super plus on block. And I had a feeling he wasn't the only one that was significantly plus on block. I had a feeling. I had a fucking feeling he wasn't the only one that was plus on block. And I stand correct. He isn't. So let's look at Johnny Cage, right? Standing one. Okay, so we got one, two, then we got three, but that can be flawless block, and it's incredibly risky because there's a big gap, so it's kind of a gamble. So I don't know if you would count this, but for the sake of this video, we got one, two, three, four, five, I guess six, but nobody like. Why would you use this normal? I guess seven, but why would you use this normally except for combos? And that's about it, really. And then this is highly risky to go for, so I don't even know if I would even count that. So yeah, Johnny has some plus frames here, right? Okay, let's look at Lee May. You know, let's check her out, right? Oh wow, look at this. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh my, she has a lot. Seven. Wow, she has seven moves. Seven fucking moves that have access to plus frames on it. And even the moves that don't have plus frames on it, she's actually pretty fucking safe. Kind of like Johnny. But the difference though is that Lee May is gifted with a mind game with her back forward four, and also a back forward one, where she can actually rapidly shoot out fucking projectiles and control space. Huh. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, that's actually mad interesting. That's mad interesting how like Lee May is another character that has an ass ton of plus frames, but the excuse that I'm gonna have is that, well, she has gaps. I mean, Johnny Cage has gaps too. Well, I mean, you know, Johnny Cage's startup time. I mean, he had. I mean, when he goes for like the forward one or the standing two or standing one or 1-1. I mean, like those are the plus frames right there. That's crazy because Lee May just as plus as Johnny is technically, and you can create mind games off of certain gaps that she has access to. But even and then the crazy part is once she conditions you to respect that, she's still really safe on block. If I was literally to look at this combo string here again, it says -4. You want to know what's crazy about that? That last hit is a meterless launcher. But then the crazy part is she could turn this into a true block string when she does this. And she's 0 on block. Keep in mind, when she spins a bar, that's a fucking pop-up. That's like, watch. That's a damn pop-up. And then she's 0 on block. Huh, that's kind of interesting to me because last time I checked, people were talking shit about Johnny. Well, I've never seen a character. I remember seeing one of the comments saying, well, I've never seen a character with so many plus frames. And in my mind, I was like, you know, I haven't really labbed against any of these characters yet. But I have a weird feeling Lee May is one of those characters that have an ass ton of plus frames. Just like Johnny. Even though she has some gaps, ain't nothing but a mind game and a cameo can't fix. And she's fucking solid. She's golden. And then even when she commits into certain shit, she's not even unsafe on block. Especially since they add cameos in this game to make you even safe on block. Huh. That's kind of crazy. But Johnny's the only one with a lot of plus frames. But then the excuse is, oh, he's gifted with a 9 frame mid and a 6 frame down one. Liu Kang and Kung Lao are gifted with a 6-frame standing normal that can generate massive amounts of damage. So if you're -7 on block at close range and you went for a standing normal that's -7 and you're going against Liu Kang or Kung Lao, you're going to get fucked up. The most Johnny will get out of that situation is literally, and I'm not even fucking joking, is literally hit advance. Into more than likely a mix-up or pressure, or you get the idea. That's crazy. That's crazy how Johnny's not the only one in the game. And the crazy part is there's less risk to her in the neutral than it is when it comes to Johnny. Because when I commit into this, nothing's guaranteed, and there's times where he ends up getting hit even when you spend a fucking bar a meter. But nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the struggle about him in the neutral. And then people talk about, well, if you give Johnny Cage a projectile, you know, that character's basically complete. He's complete. He's all this like shit. But Lee May is over here that exists. Lee May exists. Have you seen her frame data? Have you seen the shit that she can do with her combo strings? Now, granted, here's the thing. As far as her mix-ups go, I'm not too familiar completely with her mix-up. So then that's probably what the counter argument is going to be, is about her mix-ups. But with the right cameo fighter that can cover her gaps and also aid her in mix-ups, we have a very solid character here. And the character that I'm thinking is Goro. Goro is kind of a jack of all trades for a cameo. The only thing he's missing is his Shokan projectile. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy how like people talking about Johnny as if she doesn't exist. That's interesting. That's real interesting. I just kind of wanted to make a video about this just to kind of paint a picture a little bit. You know what I'm saying? How like it's cool for you to talk shit about Johnny as if this character doesn't exist. Oh well, she has gaps. She has, as if mind games cannot be played at a high level when it comes to her mind games with the gaps in her strings. As if that doesn't exist with her. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I just kind of want to touch on this video real quick, or touch on this situation with this video real quick, because I just, something was just telling me to look at her frame data. For the love of God, just look at her frame data, and that's what I did. And I had a weird vibe that she was just as plus as Johnny, and she is. She literally is. And some of her shit is mids. They're not highs where you could just neutral duck them. That's interesting. That's very interesting. But that's all I really have to say. But then again, I'm downplaying, even though I just exposed a character that is significantly plus on block on a decent amount of shit that she has access to where she gets really good pressure. And with the right cameo fighter, she's solid. People sleeping on Lee May. Like, I'm thinking about picking her up. Because she's one of my favorite female characters in Mortal Kombat. But people are sleeping on this character. She has good space control, really good high-mid mind game in the neutral, where you can also get comboed off of the mid. The risk is that if she guesses wrong, she could get comboed. However, with the right cameo fighter, you can be protected. And her neutral game is strong as shit. Then you can't even jump in on her because of her lantern. Then she could shoot the lantern and blow that bitch up. And her damage is not bad at all. It's actually really good. Interesting. Johnny in the neutral has to commit into certain shit, get fucked up for it. I even went against a Shang Tsung player that I'm not familiar with at all, okay? And the nigga spammed out 3 projectiles that didn't cost him any resources, which, by the way, is bullshit. And Johnny spent a bar, which I made Johnny spend a bar, okay? And I still got hit. Interesting. I just wanted to make this video just to kind of put that out there. You know, I knew I wasn't tripping.